Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here for another Power Book 3 Raising Kanan review. You guys already know this is season 3. This is episode 4, In Sheep's Clothing. Let me just apologize for the stuffiness and the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer I'm giving right now. I got a little head cold thing going on here, but we are going to push through, honey, because this was an excellent episode. Have we had an episode that wasn't great? I don't think so. Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below, okay? Shout out to everybody who subscribed to my channel, who discovered me, who are rediscovering me. Shout out to everyone who is commenting how much they miss me and they're glad that I'm back. You guys don't know how much I just love and adore reading through the comments. And I'm going to try to get back to engaging with each person in the comment section down below. Remember, if you are new to my channel, you like what you see, subscribe. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back, okay? Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. No matter who you are, check your subscription, okay? Miss Honey is back, honey. She's back. Okay, listen, this episode is called In Sheep's Clothing. I feel like it should have been called Snitches in Sheep's Clothing, right? Because we had a lot of snitching going on. It wasn't just Dean that was the snitch around here. It was a lot of snitching going on, okay? But we're going to talk about it. Number 2, let's talk about the fact that I'm concerned about Marvin. I'm worried about Marvin, okay? We're going to talk about it. Okay, let's talk about how the show opened. The show opened with one of Kanan's couriers on the run from the cops, child, on a scooter. I mean, it was like 6 or 7 cops. They was, it was just a full-on chase. You know what I mean? It's just much ado about nothing. All right. The guy gets caught. He gets locked up. And Kanan, like a good pimp. You know what I'm saying? This what he do. He had to go get his boy out. You know what I'm saying? He had to go get his boy out because, one, he need him to be out there working, but most importantly, he don't need him to be inside trying to get out on his own. You know what I'm saying? And maybe doing a little snitching on his own so he could get let out. You know what I'm saying? So Kanan calls Lou. And Lou come right away to help Kanan. And Lou suspects that Kanan is up to no good. And Kanan just lets him know, no, this is a friend of mine. And I just don't, his family's worried about him. And they don't have much. He ain't got nobody. That's what he told him. He ain't got nobody. And I'm trying to help him get out. And Lou goes in. He calls BS. But he goes in and bails the guy out for Kanan. All right? So it was a good moment. I enjoyed that. Let's talk about Marvin, because we're going to talk about Lou, Juke, and Marvin first, right? So let's talk about Marvin. Now, Marvin goes to see Gerald. Okay? Gerald was the friend. And shout out to the honeybee that let me know that Gerald was his friend from the anger management group. The one where, Marvin kind of was liking on the counselor. The same counselor that got killed. I digress. Anyway, they grouped and disbanded. And Gerald, who is an entertainment writer for some sort of periodical, newspaper, something, child. I don't know, magazine, whatever. And periodical. Y'all love it when I be giving y'all some old 1980s, lingo, baby. Periodical. Come on, catch, baby. Periodicals. Okay, so listen. He's this guy, and Marvin does not hit him up to write about his daughter or anything like that. He is genuinely concerned for Gerald. He comes in and listen, baby, when I tell you Marvin look good, boy, he giving me cool Mo D. You know what I'm saying? What's my boy? Oh, Big Daddy Kane, baby. He giving us Big Daddy Kane realness, you know what I'm saying? With the neck and the leather jacket and the gold chain, baby. And he's tall and slender. He looked like he might be slightly not needed. I was like, ooh. You know them not needs got a reputation, but I digress. Listen, he looking good. He goes up in there in Gerald's office and he's gonna return his ID and badge and all of that stuff. Now, um and he discovers what Gerald does, and he gets to talking back and forth, and he says, listen, Gerald, not to judge, but you're going through something. Like, what's up? Like, what's tea? Like, what is happening? He was like, man, I'm sorry I called you. He said, but I knew you wouldn't judge me, Marvin. And Marvin was like, I'm not trying to judge you at all. I just want to know, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you going through something, and I want to make sure you recognize that you might need a little bit more support. And he was like, Gerald was like, I miss the group. I missed the group. I missed the interaction. I missed the support. It helped me with the loneliness and so on and so forth. And Marvin agreed. I'm the same way. I miss them too. All right. He said, but we can be our own group. You call me when you need something, when you need to talk, when you need a friend, and vice versa. And we're going to support each other, and we're going to lift each other up. He didn't ask Gerald for not one thing. He didn't ask Gerald for not one thing. Okay. All right. I love this moment. I love this moment. Later on, when Marvin Juke is at the house, he eating some ramen, they watching TV. She just sitting there chilling, and they get a knock on the door. It's the lady from the audition, the one that said, that's enough. Now, I don't think that this the same group that Juke was auditioning for. I just don't believe it is. I think this lady is rogue. She outside of that. So whomever they didn't pick for their group, I think she's trying to shop her own group. She sliced out some people that she could use to create her own group. She pulls up to the house in a fancy car and a fancy outfit and goes into the house, and she's talking to Marvin. She's letting Juke know that she made the group. She made the cut, and then she's gonna be one of the three girls in the group. And she talks to Marvin about it, and Marvin is like, and she's like, this is how this is gonna go. And Marvin is like, whoa. Now Juke's got her own identity, and she functions better when she stays true to that identity. She's her own person, and she needs to be allowed to be her own person. Now she ain't gonna be manipulated and mishandled and mistreated and so on and so forth. And it's a good moment. Once again, Marvin is standing up for someone else. He's advocating for someone else, right? Good moment. Great moment. And Juke, she's like, yeah, if we can just, keep it real, keep it honest, I could be myself, like, I'm on board. And it's a great moment. It's awesome, right? Later on, we see where Juke's in the pizza parlor, and Kanan comes up, and this is giving us season one. Like season one, when we used to see Juke and Kanan kind of palling around and having fun, like like we used to do back in the day. You know what I mean? Just hang out. You walk to meet somebody, and y'all meet up at the pizza. Like it was just a good moment. And he tells her, let's get out of this pizza joint. Let's go to B. Smith. Shout out to B. Smith. Rest in peace, B. Smith. Goes to B. Smith restaurant, and she was like, oh, that's so expensive. And he was like, no, how often do something like this, a blessing like this, happen to us in this neighborhood, to our people? Like, yeah, no, we're going to celebrate. Where you get the money from, Kana, don't worry about all that. I've been saying it for a rainy day, a celebratory moment, and this is that moment. Right? Juke goes home, she gets dressed, and she goes to meet Kanan, and they look really, really nice. It kind of reminded me a little bit of when Symphony and Rock went on their first date. It was so cute. They cousins, but you know what I'm saying. And they have this great conversation where Kanan, again, referencing this season one energy, he tells her, I've always known that you were special. I've always known that you were gifted and talented. You've always been one of my favorite people. You deserve this and more. You're going to blow this out of the water. I want you to really, really grasp, Juke, onto the fact that you are special. You are gifted and you are talented, and I love you. Wow. Talk about giving Juke her flowers, man. This episode really, really gave Juke her flowers. It really, really did. And I loved it. It warmed my heart. It really did. Really, really did. Okay, so we see where Juke then goes to the first meeting for the group. She comes up on the door, and there is a young lady there. She's, she thinks she the lead, and everybody else gonna be her backup singer's child. And she feels this way for a lot of reasons. She got long hair, her own hair. You know what I'm saying? And she kind of, caramel, paper sack brownish, you know what I mean? I think I might be more paper sack brownish, but you know what I'm saying. She on the lighter hue, on the caramelish side. She's a little thick now. She's a little thick. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, she a little thick. You know what I'm saying? That thick is good now, but back then they wanted you to be, straight up and down. In come Mint Girl. Juke's there. She Polo Girl. And the caramel is just like a buck, and y'all gonna be behind me. I hope you know harmony, because you're gonna be my backup, because I'm the lead. And And Juke is like, okay. And she's like, ain't your name Boombox? And she was like, that's gonna be Jukebox. And in comes Mint Girl, and she's like, hey Polo Girl. And she was like, hey Mint Girl, boop, 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 boop. They gonna be friends. They gonna be friends, and probably a little something extra, right? Because I can tell by the way they look at each other that, you cute, no, you cute, no, you cute, no, you cute. I know I am, but what are you? I know you are, but what am I? You know what I'm saying? It's real cute, right? Mm-hmm. In comes the lady, the manager or whatever, and she lets them know, like, there's going to be hard work going forward. This is what we're going to be working on, and I need you guys to focus on The group is called Bata, and we're going to be shopping the group. We're going to get some singles together and get some dance moves together, and we're going to shop the group. If you guys don't get picked up by a label, it's going to be, you know what I'm saying, all the work is going to be for nothing. And the caramel girl was like, butter. I'm not sure I care for that. And she was like, who cares what you care about? What I am is your Lord and Savior, right? If I say don't eat, thickums, you not eating, okay? If I say you know what I'm saying? What I say go. I'm your supreme ruler. I'm how you eat, sleep, drink, be, exist, all of that. Okay, and Juke is like, okay, this is kind of different from what the vibe he was giving me at my daddy's house. Yeah, because this is a wolf, and she was wearing sheep's clothing then, Juke. Now she's showing you I'm wolf, and I will devour you. I will devour you. We're gonna put a pin in it. We're gonna put a pin in it because I don't believe Juke's gonna be able to last in this on this plane in this with this particular image. I just I don't know. She might end up getting a real cute girlfriend out of it, but it ain't gonna be long before Juke gonna be like, first of all, now Juke also has gone to her medical appointment. You have to be checked out before you join the service. They run you through a battery of tests, and she's gone through that, right? The lady talked to her real bad, you know what I mean? Just made her feel, trying to make her, like, make sure you ain't pregnant and, you know what I'm saying, no boyfriend. Yeah, it's just real stereotype. That's what it was. It was a lot of stereotypes. But she's still going through that process, too. I don't know if she's going to put that on hold because you ain't going to be able to do both. That's not going to happen. I think she wants to see if this is going to work out before she does that. Baby, if you sign some paperwork with them army folks over there, I promise you they coming to get you. They coming to get you, right? If they got to snatch you off the stage, they coming for you, huh? You don't want these problems, right? So make sure you know what you're going to do, Jude. Make sure. Make sure. Meanwhile, Lou and Marvin are talking. And Lou is trying to do the pity party. You know what I'm saying? I missed Juke's audition, and she probably better off without me anyway. And Marvin was like, listen. it's not that I'm not gonna forgive you, because I'm gonna forgive you, my brother, and you're gonna be my brother for life. He said, but let me just let you know this. If you give your word to a young adult, a child, you need to keep it, right? It ain't just young adults. It is children and the elderly. If you give your word, you best follow it. You best follow it. I promise you. You best follow it, right? Them two groups you don't want to go down in their eyes. You don't want to do that, right? And so he tells them, he says, I would never hurt you on purpose. I wanted to be there. This is what happened to me, and it wasn't intentional. And Marvin was like, man, you should have seen it. She killed it. She nailed it. She did an outstanding job, and it just led me to believe that all that work you did with her really, really paid off, and you really know what you're doing in this music game. And it's a trigger for Lou. He appreciates Marvin's forgiveness. He's appreciative that he was called out. He got a chance to explain his side, and they good, right? I got something I want to show you later on tonight at the club. And Marvin is like, listen, I ain't got time to be babysitting you at no more club, sir. And he was like, no, it's something I really, really need to show you. Later on, they go down to Shirley's place, Café Vous. Café, voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Ce soir. Okay, they go down to Café Vous and talk to Shirley, right? Shirley done already gave Lou the thumbs up to help her bring in some new talent. But Lou's got broader ideas, and he brings Marvin in on it. Plus, this is a woman that knew E-Train, they daddy. And so Marvin goes down and he talks very intelligently about doing some renovations and updating and being a part of the investment process of it all. And she is like, you know what? Me and Lou didn't really talk all the way about that, but you know how much I love black men. You two ninjas, I barely know you, but I knew your daddy. You know what I'm saying? I knew your daddy. I knew your daddy. Okay, and your daddy knew how to put it down. Mm-hmm. And make a snowflake feel stone cold. Okay. And I have no reason to believe that you two big strong bucks won't also know how to make a lady feel special. You know what I'm saying? She all in. Whatever they want to do, tear it all down, rebuild it. Lou gonna put a studio in the back, and I mean, she is all in. They basically have moved in on her business, and she co-signed the whole thing. Later on, Lou moving in some of his stuff, some of his equipment. He's got a vision. He gonna put the soundboard on this wall. The stage is gonna be over here. And Marvin is like, okay, good. I can get my work and start moving my work through here. And Lou is like, nah. That's not what I'm talking about. No, not here. That's what rock would do. Here, I wanted to be clean. You can get half of the bar. You can a part of the bar. You can get part of the door. All of these things. But no, we're not dirtying it up in here. And Marvin is like, Rock got her own thing, making her own money. She got her own path, and Marvin be damned, right? You got your own thing, you got your own path, and Marvin be damned, right? Marvin's gonna have to get his own thing, okay? Or Marvin is gonna be damned. But he concedes. He's trying to support his brother. You know what I'm saying? And he's just grateful that Lou ain't standing here drunk as Cooter Brown. Okay? All right. So that's Marvin, Lou, and Jude, right? Okay, listen. Then we gonna talk about Rock, Kanan, and Howard. Let's do it, you guys. Listen, Rock goes out and she purchases an entire plaza, right? An entire plaza, right? It didn't look like she was purchasing one place. From what he was saying, she purchased in the plaza. So it looked like she already got some renters, and she got a clean space that she can use on her own, for her own business, whatever that is, right? And another snitch, the real estate agent, when he showed her the place the first time, he goes and talks to the cops about it, right? And some local cops, right? And they are on the take. They're crooked. And so as soon as she signs the deal, as is this property, she sees the real estate agent talking to the cops, and he walks off. He don't care. He don't have no respect for her. He don't feel like, oh no, she saw me. Oh no, she knows. Oh no, she won't recommend me. He don't care. He don't care. He don't have to respect her. She just a Negro, right? It was all so condescending, the whole setup. And I'm like, was it written this way, or is these ninjas just acting because they already know what the scene called for? Anyway, she goes across the street and they low key threaten her and let her know that, it's a lot of things can go wrong. And if she need a little protection, they're there to help, you know what I'm saying? And they let her know that they know she got a son in high school and they got a football league. She might want to put her son in the football league. And she was like, my son? My son don't play football. But she learns very quickly, not only do she got these local crooked cops on her back, but she also got the feds on her back. She's aware that they are following her, and they are following her everywhere and taking snapshots and taking pictures, and it is okay. We see then where she rolls up on Kanan at school, and he's out there doing some right, you know what I'm saying? And what I say, everybody is supping at the feet of Mount Canaan, right? And she sees it all, and she was like, Kanan, who are these people? Who this group? And he was like, friends, mom. And she was like, oh, okay, your friends need your pager number, your beeper number, and this, that, and the third. And Kanan was like, how can I help you, Mom? And she was like, well, I haven't seen you. I haven't heard from you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to see what's going on. Like, how long we going to do this thing? And he was like, I got to go to school, Mom. And when he goes into the school, she notices they are going through a metal detector. And she goes on about her business, right? Okay, well, we see where she later on, she's not done. She casing Kanan's apartment, right? And she sees him leave. And I mean, he walking down the block and he's like, hey. You'll say he a man about town. He head on down the boulevard. And it's FBI's there and they taking pictures left and right. Check it. Right? And they got pictures of her going across the street looking fine as wine. Baby. Goes into Kanan's apartment, knock on the door, do. And Fame is in there, baby. And Fame is working on his rhymes and smoking a joint. He done took the phone off the hook. He got to take a break for a minute because the phone has been ringing back to back. Him and Kanan got so much business. Kanan's like, we're gonna need an answering service to take some of these phone calls. What you need is a coding system, Kanan. That's what you need. You need a coding system, all right? So that people won't know what it is you doing. Right? You need to teach Fame the coding system, right? Like, we're just talking about how you're going to insulate your business in order for it to be secure, Kanan. Right? You got Paul knocking at the door. Paul was the courier guy who he took over his couriers, right? And Paul is like, I'm losing money. My couriers are working more for you than they are for me, and it's not working out for me. And this is another potential snitch that Kanan has to worry about, right? Like, he can't have Paul upset. He cannot have Paul upset. He can't have Paul out here dacky. So when Paul is talking and complaining, Kanan is like, I understand. I feel you. I hear what you're saying. I support that. And also, here's a couple of racks, okay? That's going to tide you over, right? And he was like, it doesn't solve the problem. He was like, yeah, I know. And I'm also working on that. But I want you to know that I hear you and I support your concerns. Okay? And then Paul is like, okay, but I. And Kanan's like, all is well. Scooty boot. Or it's just Paul on out. So now that Rock is knocking at the door, Fame just got a minute to himself, right? Without it popping off every few seconds. He's like, who is it? And Rock is like, I ain't got time for this, Fame. Open this door. He was like, Kanan is not here. Open this door, Fame. And he was like, oh, man, Miss Rock, Kanan don't want me to let you in. I don't give a mucky ducky. She was like, you in here? And he's smoking? And he was like, it's coming through the walls from other people. She was like, well, your neighbors also left the blunt in here on the table smoking, sir. And he is like, oh. And so she looking around the whole time. She's schooling him. Just like, Fame. Right? She see Kanan book bag. She gets Kanan book bag up and opens it up and goes in her purse and she pulls out a revolver. You know what I'm saying? Shiny. Baby, that thing was shiny. You could have seen it a mile away. Now, it's also an old school revolver, you guys. It's heavy. It's heavy. Right? Good and heavy. Okay, and as soon as she pulls it out, Fame's like, Miss Rock. I was like, is that upper soprano, Miss Rock? I can't do it. Miss Rock. Yeah. He was like, squeak. And she like, shut up, boy. Don't get in family business. Mind your business. She puts it in Kanan's book bag, zips it back up, and puts it down. Now, the minute he picked it up, he should have known something was in there, right? The minute he sat it down at any point, he should have known it was in there. The minute he took it around and put it on his back and that gun dropped like that, he should have known something was in it. But we not going to pick at these scabs. We not going to do that, right? We just going to go along with the get along in this situation. And then she takes a wad of money. She had already counted it out. She already knew what she needed to do and gave it to Fame and told Fame to mind his business. Shut up and don't you say a word. And Fame is like, he takes the money, right? He already knows. She's setting him up for the potential snitch. Either she gonna snitch on him or he gonna have to snitch on himself. But when this comes out and Kanan discovers it, it's going to be bad for Fame. It's going to be bad for Fame. Period. Right? So she ratting out Kanan, really put the gun on him, and then she know that the machine's gonna go off, and she ratting out Kanan. That's a snitch. That's a dry snitch, a low-key dry snitch. And you also setting Fame up for the future snitch out. Oh, we got snitches. We got snitches in sheep's clothing. We got snitches in wolf's clothing. We got sheep's in wolf clothing, wolves in sheep's clothing. Like, we got it all in this episode, right? Okay. So she goes over and she, like I said, she bum rushes Fame, and all of this goes down. And she tells him, listen, you don't see nothing, you ain't heard nothing, and you don't know nothing. Okay? Take this money and go on. Now, he did take that money, but when he threw it down, I knew then he was like, this family is going to be the death of me. Probably, Fame. Probably. I'm going to go with a yes on that. Yeah, absolutely. So, later on, we see her having dinner. Rock having dinner with her boo. They having a little dinner, child, like civilized human beings, child. And they talking about their day and stuff. And he let her know about his brother and what his brother been getting into. And she gives him some advice. Listen, is what your brother getting into worse than what it's going to take to keep your brother out of trouble? He's like, I can't get my brother, I can't find a space for my brother because my brother, he has a particular skill set. And she was like, listen, your brother's getting into a whole lot of rah over here. What I suggest you do is you give him something to do, because what he's doing out here in these streets, as it pertains to you and your business, is worse than what you're going to have to put him to work doing. And he thinks about it for a moment. And he has to admit to himself that she's right. Later on, she washing dishes, she checking him out, and she thinking to herself, dang, come here. This ninja is fine. And even though she hate to do it, she gonna have to do it. She let him know Kanan coming home. Don't ask me how I know, but Kanan is coming home, and I can't have no wildness around him, around me. And I've had fun. I really have enjoyed myself. This was a super intimate moment. It was very well acted with Patina and Joey. It was really, really, really a sexy sexy scene, right? I can't have all this rah-rah about around my son. Okay, and so I'm just gonna have to go ahead and let you know that we're gonna have to pump the brakes on this situation, right? We're gonna have to press pause, And he says, okay, I understand. I do understand that. He said, what I'm saying, this was, we already knew what it was. I knew what it was, and you knew what it was, and what I'm saying, what. And she was like, well, you always have a special place. And he was like, oh, really? And she was like, yeah. He was like, remember that when we on the street and arguing over territory? And she was like, this why I mucks with you. This why I mucks with you, Unique. And he was like, well, that's fine. Can we just have one more last time? And she was like, okay. Yeah. Yeah. And then just like that, it slip, slurp, flip around the table, boom. Yeah. It was a great scene. It was a great scene. It was very intimate, and it just showed the growth of these two characters, man. I just, I just loved it. I loved every minute of it. All right. Okay, so then we get to see where Kanan goes into the school. You know what I'm saying? The next day, and of course the metal detector goes off, and he is just like, this broken, I got nothing in my bag. I mean, super casual about the whole situation. Out comes the gun, of course. Everybody's like, ooh, 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 and he gets hemmed up, locked up, and hauled off. Later on, Rock comes in, and she is like, Kanan, really? How dare you? I mean, she gives us a stellar performance. They go into Dr. Principal's office, and Dr. Principal's like, Kanan, this is why I put you in Symphony's class, because I thought you had potential. And Rock is like, exactly, potential. And she was like, I'm so disappointed. And Rock was like, exactly, disappointed. And she was like, and Kanan was like, it's not mine. It's not mine. That's not my gun. I did not know that it's not my gun. And Rock is like, just be quiet, Kanan. Just be quiet, you gun carrying ne'er do well. And she says, listen, I'm just as disappointed at Kanan and his behavior. And Kanan's like, Ma. He's like, I'm just as disappointed as you are, Dr. Principal. She said, but we have had some violence visited upon us, and he possibly had it just because to protect himself. And Dr. Principal's like, you probably right. And I did think about all of that. Unlike Fame, he do be at school every day, and also he still be doing his schoolwork and stuff like that. And she said, and it wasn't no bullets in the gun. So this what we gonna do. Oh, also, the police already done called down here and let us know that they do not intend, they don't want to press charges. They've already vouched. You know who called? Howard. For Kanan. So this what we gonna do. We gonna have him on at your house. He got to be at your house, and he got to stay at your house, and y'all got to stay together. You are making you responsible, extra responsible for Kanan. Y'all gonna have visits, pop-up visits at the house to make sure that the housing situation is all right, that he is getting properly counseled and educated, so on and so forth. And one infraction could not only get him locked up and in trouble, but it could get you locked up and in trouble, Rock. Okay? I'm giving you one more chance to get yourself together. Now, you got 3 months of just straight up house arrest, basically. Where you got to stay in and around your mama's house. School and back. You don't never know when they gonna show up. Right? And Kanan's like, this ain't right. This ain't fair. And Rock is like, thank you so much. I didn't want my baby to go to prison. And when she get outside, she was like, look. Get your narrow behind in the car. Mama, that's not my gun. It don't matter. He was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm out. And she was like, yeah, you out in this car. In this Range Rover. You heard what they say. I'm not finna get hemmed up for you, Kanan. Get in this car. And she gathers him up, and he is mad as Cooter Brown. Like, he just do not know. Like, I got a whole business, Mama, I'm running out of Fame's apartment over here. I ain't got time. And she takes him back to the house where she has decorated his room in all blue. right? And it's like a little blue box. You can just see when Kanan gets in there and sits down, he don't belong there. He doesn't feel like he belongs there anymore. Okay, you let this boy out the box. You let him roam free. You gave him carte blanche to commit these crimes, to do these egregious things. The knowledge of what he knows alone is a lot. Takes him from boy to man mentally. You know what I'm saying? In terms of how much he as a teenager has the capacity to understand. You're not gonna be able to now put him back in this little blue box and he's gonna be your son in the little blue box. No, Kanan has outgrown the box. Kanan has almost, not quite, but almost outgrown the block. He running his own drug business. You think you finna put him back in the little blue box? Rock, come on. Come on, Rock. Come on, right? At the same time, Howard comes over, right? Now let's talk about Howard. They own to Howard. They own the Howard. Now, I done worked in corporate America for a long time on different levels. Now, whenever they call you in and ask to see you for a moment and ask you a couple of questions and trying to fill you out and see what you know, listen, something going on. They own to you. They own if you got anything going on. Now, if you ain't did nothing, you ain't got to necessarily worry. They might be making you the scapegoat though, so you still got to be careful. But listen, they going over stuff. They asking him about Crown, and everything we learned about Crown was that he was just in the music business. And Howard is like, the music business. The music business is the number one way people move drugs. I was like, well, he ain't lying. He ain't lying, child. I don't know about what's going on. Y'all got any leads? And they like, well, no. You got any leads on the shooting with your partner? And he was like, no. Just like y'all, we got more theories than thoughts, you know. And it's this whole exchange. At the same time, he realizes they are onto him. He realizes something is up. I don't know that he knows yet that they're onto him. I personally suspect that they are onto him. I think they watching the whole kit and caboodle. They are. They are. It's not just the nature of the police or the nature of them alphabet boys. It's the nature of the. They suspect all of y'all. The ones with badges and the ones without. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Yeah. Anyway, he comes over and he lets her know that everything that's going on with Kanan. Kanan got a gun in school and all of this stuff. This is you. This is your chickens coming home to roost. All of this rests at your doorstep, Rock. This your fault. And she is like, look, I'm working on it. He's home now. We're going to fix this. And she said, I appreciate you calling and looking out for your son. That was a good look. And he tells her, don't call me no more. I'm not taking your phone calls no more, Rock. I'm not doing it. Okay? We got these people all over us. I can't deal with you and your shenanigans no more, Rock. And she was like, You know my ringtone. And you best... and you best answer it while you watch me walk away. Okay? It's a cute moment. Listen, that's Rock and Kanan. Alright? Let us talk about Unique and Ronnie. Listen, Ronnie goes to see a guy called Snaps. Right? His character name is Ishmael. Right? They gonna call him Ish, but they call him Snaps, and he's there with a girl that they call Pops, and they supposed to be in a relationship. Now I don't know what happened to Crackle. Okay, I'm scared to ask where Crackle at, but Snaps and Pops is here, and they try to really kind of. They're surprised to see Ronnie. They know he out, and they like, hey, we work together. He was like, look, I need work, I need money, and they like, we not really in the game anymore. What about Unique, your brother? And Unique is doing this, that, and the third. Now Ronnie snitching, and Pops, Snaps is like, look, whatever Unique is doing, he knows the game. He knows how to run the score, and I think you need to just be patient. Just be patient and see what your brother working on and see if you can get in on that. And he was like, he too busy around there screwing Rock Thomas. Snitch. You snitching. I don't know what's the rules for snitching. Y'all put it down below. Is it if you run, go tell? Or if somebody asks you and you tell? Like, to me, telling is telling. Telling and talking out of school is talking out of school. Whether you run, go do it, or somebody come and get it and you give it up. You know what I'm saying? It's still snitching to me. Y'all let me know. I feel like what Rock did to Kanan, snitch. It's a snitch move. Y'all put it down below. And they's like, Raquel Thomas, I thought she was out of the game. This Ronnie. Ronnie's like, look, I need money. He's like, look, I'm going to give you a little piece of change. But I want my money back in the same order that I gave it to you and some. Okay? And two, it's just going to be a little piece of change. You're going to have to find some other investors. We ain't going to be able to all the way fund your whole whatever these years you got going on. So Ronnie decides he gonna go and find another investor, right? Now, the whole time he around there talking to Snaps and Pops, okay? Unique is down talking to the Asians because they want to know why we haven't gotten the buttload of money yet. And he was like, look, this is a new spot. I haven't even got my flow there yet in this new spot, and your sister's brother's cousin ain't helping. It's not like they got banging food. It's not like they, they got a whole bunch of traffic coming up through there. We got to build up our clientele. This is what you gave me. If you don't feel like I can do this, if you don't feel like how it's going is not moving at the speed that you needed to move in, knowing that you gave me a dud to work with anyway, then take your money back, take your drugs back, and I go find it somewhere else. Otherwise, leave me be and let me run this business. Let me build this business up, please. I was like, you know what, Unique, you make me wanna. Ronnie leaves Snaps and goes and talks to Dean. He in there playing bingo. And in walks Dean, and he's got his bodyguard and his big mama, takes her and sits her down, and he's like, Ronnie, what the deuce are you doing up in here? And Ronnie's like, I need money, I need work. And he's like, I don't deal with you. I don't deal with your brother. You're not welcome here. And then Ronnie, I need work. And over comes the bodyguard and puts a gun in Ronnie's rib and is like, back up. And Dean is like, listen, you're doing too much. Okay? You're running hither, thither, and yon. Okay, you're coming up here, you're being aggressive. I don't muck with your brother, I don't muck with you, and that's final. If you don't like it, I got a nice hole I could put you in. Okay, and Ronnie is like, as soon as I get a minute, I'm gonna snap your neck. And he told his bodyguard, see this ninja out of here. Right? But not before he snitches. And says, I haven't dealt with Unique and I don't know when. I don't deal with Unique. And he been messing with Rock. Him and Rock got together and they got they supplies from the El Ninos or whatever he called them over on this street, in this corner, in this block, in this address. The number is 777-9311. This is what he tell Ronnie before he kick him out, right? So then Ronnie leaves here, right, and goes down to see Joaquin and Juliana. They're coming out of a building. He's standing outside of the building as the vice president of the Mean Mugger Society. No, he the president. Howard is the vice president. As the president of the Mean Mugger Society, he just lurking and waiting. Juliana come out of there like she ain't fat with that Vanity 6 haircut. Like she so suchy muchy. Girl, who is down at the bodega? This is your cousin, not your man. What's the You Joaquin partner? Like this whole Juliana situation is throwing me off. That's not his girl, or maybe it is. I don't know, child. Anyway, she come out. Of course, the bodyguards are there, and they hold up Ronnie, and Ronnie says, "I'm Unique's brother." And so Joaquin was like, "We don't deal with Unique. We got beef with Unique." And he was like, "I'm not. I'm Unique's brother, but I'm not Unique." And of course, Juliana is intrigued. Right now, mind you, it should have been an instant mollywhopping, and the reason why is because Unique pulled a gun on Juliana, put a gun all in her face. Y'all really owe Unique for that, and his brother's here, and y'all could have, you know what I'm saying, even swap can't be no swindle type situation, right? But oh no, oh no, 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 that's not what we're doing. But he tells him, "I need work. I want product. I can make you some money." And Juliana is just looking. She was like, he said, "I'm not my brother. I'm not my brother. Your brother was a problem for us." Joaquin said, and he said, "Well, problems have solutions." Ooh, did you just badmouth your brother with his enemy? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, we snitching out this joint. See, Ronnie is a wolf, full on wolf in sheep's clothing. They Snaps and Pops called him Urkel, right? He got the glasses and the sensible clothing, Oshkosh Bagosh gear, right? But he's a full on wolf. Don't let the sheep's clothing fool you. He's a full on wolf. Okay? So Juliana peeps the whole thing, and she looks at him as a possible ally, as a possible opportunity, okay, to get back at Rock. All right, the whole thing is peeped. Later on, we see where Pernessa, okay, because Ronnie done dry snitched to her too, she confronts Unique about you screwing another woman? You screwing another woman? He just trying to have a sandwich and a light drink before he have to get back to business, right? He eating real light because he know he gonna be having full on dinner, you know what I'm saying, and a couple of other things. When he get to Rock House, you know what I'm saying, just go eat a light little snack. And he was like, "I'm trying to eat a sandwich, okay? I'm trying to build something for you and my son. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to establish myself. Like you and I got you and she was like, I don't care. And he gets up and leaves. Later on, after he had this conversation with Rock, and she advises him that you need to get to your brother and figure out what's going on with him, right? Because he tells Rock that Dean called him after Ronnie left and told him what Ronnie was up to. And so now he's back at the house and Ronnie's got a whole pizza. And he's trying to eat in peace, and he confronts him and say, "What's going on with you, Ronnie? Dean called me and told me, now you done snitched about who snitched on Ronnie. You snitched that person out to Ronnie. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just saying the whole diatribe about snitching, it pertains to a lot of people in this episode. Y'all let me know if y'all agree and put it down below." But he tells him, he says, "Hey, listen, Dean told me," you said, "what you was doing now. What you working on, Ronnie? What you got going on?" Dean is a Mickey Picky lie. This what Ronnie say. Dean is a Mickey Picky lie. I ain't seen that ninja in years. He said, "So you trying to tell me that Dean is just straight up and lying on you?" "I said what I said," Ronnie said. He said, "Ronnie, you ain't ish. Ronnie, you ain't ish. Ronnie, I see you and you ain't ish, ninja." And Ronnie is just eating his pizza and looking straight ahead like whatever. Whatevs. Okay, Unique walk off. Ronnie finishes his pizza. Okay, and then we get to see Dean. This is the end of this episode. We get to see Dean at home with Grandma. Right? Grandma don't speak. Grandma can barely hear. And he goes to change her hearing aid into the kitchen, change the hearing aid, the battery in a hearing aid. And while he's in there, Ronnie sneaks up on him and takes a knife from the kitchen and ends Dean's life and tells him, you're telling my business, mother dugger. You're snitching, mother dugger. Whole time, 50 Cent in the background talking about how he can't stand folks who talk too much and snitching and all of that. I'm like, Ronnie started the snitching. Okay, everybody got their own agenda, and they snitching and they telling and they trying to tear other people down verbally and in other people's minds to, for their own agenda, for their own cause, right? It's happening all over. See, this what they mean when they say there's no honor amongst thieves, right? All y'all is poisonous fruit. All of y'all. All of y'all. This is a sordid mess. This is a sordid mess. All right? We get to learn that Ronnie's got a little bit of OCD. Everything's got its place. Everything has to be just so. It has to be neat. It has to be tidy. He don't believe in disarray. But you left Dean's house in disarray. And that OCD is going to be your calling card. That OCD, that's a calling card. That's a calling card. It's a tale. It is a tale. Let me know if you peeped it. Put it down below, okay? Let's run through it real quick. I'm worried about Marvin. Marvin seems to be trying to get himself centered and pull his life together. And he's having to learn how to do this outside of his siblings and the business that he was in with his siblings. Don't mean he won't still do that business. He just got to do it differently, and he's probably going to have to do it by himself. Everybody's on their own journey. Even Juke. He is a prime target to be eliminated and tug at the heartstrings of the viewers, because we are being romanced by the Marvin character. And something tells me that one of these brothers going down, and I got a sneaky suspicion that it's Marvin. And another reason why I feel that is because we are going to see that moment where things switch for Juke. And she takes a completely different trajectory. She chooses chaos and evil, violence, right? Marvin could be the straw that breaks that camel's back. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Fame. Fame. Somebody pointed out that, and I went and looked it up, Fame's character is Sean Fame, whatever his last name. Y'all remember that Kanan's son, the one that he was Fame, was named Sean, right? Y'all remember that? Okay, I'm worried about Fame. I don't know if it's gonna be this season, but I still think Juke is gonna be the one to take Fame out, and that's just my thought process. Something's gonna not only sever Juke from following the path of peace and normalcy, but also something is going to be a forever wedge between Juke and Kanan, because when we see them get together in power, they was cousins and they was cool, but there was still this contentious elephant in the room between the two of them, the adult Juke and Kanan. And I think Fame is going to have something to do with that. Now, those are just my predictions thus far. We've got our regular fodder, but we're just talking about our core characters. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. I'd love for you to put it down below. And I love this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Listen, until next time, honeybees. I holla.